I'm Sir Flowbojan Thunderhammer.
And I'm Teflon Frosthammer.
And I'm Cabbage Tidehammer.
And this
is
WAK.
If amtgard knighthood means anything, you can't knife a motherfucker and keep it.
And the thing that people need to understand essentially about arts and sciences events is that your scores don't matter.
Do you want a black phoenix or a white phoenix?
Jeez, language, man. We're on a freaking podcast, for fuck's sake.
Mind-blowing experience, right?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to WAK, where we discuss topics important to the amtgard community at large, talk with interesting people from around the foam fighting world. You may remember this jackass from about a month or two back or so, but as is tradition, we are having Subway back on for Subway in a Manger.
Merry Christmas!
Bah humbug.
Now, there's one other very special honor I want to bestow upon you. I don't know if people realize I've done this, but we have strategically missed some episodes, and this is going to be our 69th episode.
I was afraid of that.
It's going to be our nicest one yet. Have a nice Christmas, everybody. Nice.
Nice.
Oh, God bless. I'm sure Geralder will love that.
This is specifically for Geralder. So we were kind of light on topics, but I think we wanted to talk about like an amtgard year in review and then kind of what we're looking forward to for next year as well. Did you guys have anything else you wanted to bring to the table? There's just a mic stand. Oh, that's yours. Okay. Anything else we want to discuss, or do we just want to kind of round table it?
Let's round table it.
Let's round table it. All right.
Yeah.
You lead.
But we
It's
do
your
a
episode.
rectangle.
Well, cool. Year in review, it's been rough. amtgard's back, which is great. And really, it's just that. Wanted to say thanks and shout outs to a lot of the people that have been amazing this past year of just making events happen, local and kingdom level. Yeah, just all around, it's been...
When you say it's been rough, do you just mean like recovering from COVID or like...
Yeah, pandemic stuff. Yes. No. I want my nose back.
Okay. Anyway, for the people listening on Spotify with no video, I'm sorry for the poison. You're just going to have to deal with it. Watch it on YouTube when you get time.
Yeah, who listens to it on Spotify?
A lot of people.
Most, like 80% of our audience.
We have a larger audience on Spotify than we do on YouTube.
Losers.
Yeah. Spotify, like, not to shill for Spotify here, but I'll do it for a second. They make a really good platform for getting this out there, and they do a good job of promoting it. Like, they got pretty serious about podcasts.
Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can echo the COVID making things rough, though. I am surprised to see amtgard bounce back as hard as it did.
It did hard, too. Like, everyone was ready to play.
Everybody was bored.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not that surprised.
Yeah, like, Winter's Edge had its biggest event ever, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was our first event back from COVID. It also, really, Siri, show me what you found, and then die. But it was our biggest event. It also happened to be a knighting, so, like, balls in the air on whether or not that had a huge effect. But, I mean, it was our biggest event, so take that for what you will, right?
Yeah.
Round table, we going clockwise or counterclockwise?
It's still rectangle.
To the left of the dealer. Flow.
The clock goes. So that would be... Yeah, it would be flow.
Yes.
You got it
Flow.
now? You good?
I'm bad at clockwise and counterclockwise.
All right. No, I was really happy to see that our group was able to continue doing a lot of things over the course of 2021, part of which we weren't meeting for. We had a lot of, I think that we discussed this on earlier episodes, but we had a lot of online activities going on. Vidalia was running a lot of stuff. Who was it that was doing our video nights, like our movie nights and stuff?
Kay.
Yeah.
Kay was doing a lot of movie nights. I remember one in particular. We had a bad B-flick Japanese vampire thing. But we got together and played Among Us quite a bit. So that was really cool to see that our group could get together and do things outside of just wacky bats. And
Yeah, to see amtgard move outside of the meat space, right? Like all of the TikTok content, the digital content in general is really cool. I mean, also just seeing everything go like crafting oriented.
Yeah.
Because crafting, you don't actually have to be at park to do. So people were like, I made this whole thing, this whole suit of armor. And it's like, fuck, I didn't do anything
Yeah,
over the
we've had a
pandemic.
lot of
Like,
really cool like contests and competitions of like, all right, I give you $5. What can you make?
Yeah,
and people made amazing pieces.
the $5
Yeah, right.
garb challenge. It wasn't
$10.
$5. $10 garb
Yeah.
challenge. Those were cool as shit.
Seth Riddle did I think it was Seth Riddle, right?
I think
did
she was the
really,
one that
sounds-
won.
Yeah, she did a really good job.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know who ran that. It may have been Libby that ran it.
I think so.
Yeah, either way, it was whoever ran that. And if I got your name wrong,
Maybe it was
my
Bell.
bad. Yeah, it was a cool damn challenge, and I like seeing it. But
yeah, that was a big one for me, was just that we could survive. That let's face it, you're not best friends with everybody that you go out to park with, and that's okay.
I am.
No, you hate everyone that you
I
go out
might
to
not
park with.
survive this fact. My heart.
And it's okay. It's okay that you wouldn't go grab a beer with every single person you go to park to. But it was cool to see that even those people that are just amtgard friends, we're still cool getting together and playing games with and doing stuff when we know that we're not going to be able to otherwise meet. So that was a big one for me.
Did you guys get good at anything over COVID? Like people learn whole new skills over COVID, and I didn't.
I got good at gaining weight.
Okay, if we can put that on our amtgard resume, I guess put it on mine too. But like, I don't know. Like I got better at sewing, I feel like, but it wasn't like I'm going to spend the whole pandemic sewing and getting real good at it. It was just like, here's the thing I'm going to try.
I got better at disc golf.
Okay, yeah, but this is an amtgard podcast.
Nerd.
Tune in for our disc golf podcast on our new channel. No, I'm just kidding.
We're doing that.
Are we doing that? No, we can't do that. I have so limited time. You made a lot of shields, but I don't know that was influenced by the pandemic, really. That was just kind of
One
like...
sitting over there.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily because of the pandemic, but yeah, I've made at this stage, I think over 20 is what I've hit.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You made like 30-something scrolls, didn't you? Yeah, 30-something scrolls.
Yeah.
If you're a part of Winter's Edge and have a scroll,
It's probably...
like
yeah.
80% of them were her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I just liked having the time to, like, I don't know, focus on parts of the game that weren't fighting. Like, as dumb as it sounds, learning about the structure of our game for me was really cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the type of nerd that you show an org chart, and I'm like, oh, this is how it all works. And, like, getting to actually get inside of that and know how that works was pretty interesting. So, for me, it was just kind of the meta of amtgard that we all have to suffer under because it's what runs the overarching game.
Cabbage
was
builds
kinda
all
cool.
of our Venn diagrams.
I have so
They're
many...
just circles for a lot of them, though, so it's not real hard.
I have a whole program. Yeah, it's fine. I can show you my Venn diagrams later, though. I have a bunch of them. I have the mind maps with the bubbles.
I'm so sad that you're excited about that.
But I do. Mind mapping's cool. You get the right software, and you can make the little bubble chains, and it makes everything.
Legit.
I'm not selling this, am I?
Legit. I use mind mapping when I'm making D&D campaigns and stuff like that.
I'm using it for the one we're getting ready to do.
By the way, we're getting ready to do
spoilers.
Spoiler!
Yeah, spoilers. Sorry. Well, soon enough. You'll see it. Before the end of the year, probably.
Speaking of before the end of the year, before the end of this podcast, you should hit that like button, smash that
Yeah.
subscribe, and
Get it.
go ahead and give us a thumbs up.
Yeah.
It actually does do things, and that part's not a joke. It helps us deliver more content and otherwise makes YouTube like us more. So.
Yeah.
So when are you going to get sponsored by Raycons and Keeps and everything else?
Oh, yeah. This episode's brought to you by Raycons. Try out their earbuds. Earbuds is
Yep.
Raycons? Yeah, try out
Earbuds.
their earbuds.
Yeah, Keeps wouldn't touch us. Jeff and I are just like, well,
Keeps.
We are not
We need
sponsored.
Vipers.
As
Ah, dang it, I got a pair
your
of pit
lawyer,
vipers.
I am bound to say that we are not sponsored by Raycons.
Flo became a lawyer over the pandemic. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah.
I did by watching at least 6 hours of Legal Eagle.
Ah, I
Yeah.
swear to God.
It's
We're
like, I
not gonna
didn't
plug his
learn much,
channel,
but I
yeah.
bought these suits. Does that
Yeah.
mean-
Indochino.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Dude, I like his channel. If he wants to have us on, he's more than welcome to.
You should have him on. That'd be great.
Yeah, I can imagine he'd totally want to come to the garage.
No, actually, he could talk about all of the liability involved in just a basic park day.
It's just him screaming for 15 solid minutes like, ah! Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like year in review, it was cool to see. It seems like there's a lot more crossover between other games because of amtgard extending into, TikTok and other things. Like I've seen a lot more DAG players coming out and trying the game. That's cool. And then also we did a brief series where we just sort of rounded the table to see what the other games were like. And like, they're all pretty amtgard adjacent. Like you can, and I mean, I guess they could also say we're all pretty Darkon adjacent or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But they're all pretty amtgard adjacent, and I feel like there could be a lot more spillover if we just reached out to those communities.
Yeah,
That
well, I
was-
think you guys have actually done a pretty good job of that. Is you've exposed to a lot of just our amtgard to a lot of the different games that some folks, I'm assuming, haven't even heard of.
Yeah.
So just knowing that it's out there and getting excited for it, you guys have done that. You've talked to some amazing people over the year.
It was fun too to find out that a lot of the misconceptions that we have about their game, they have the same level of misconceptions about ours. Right? They have their own rumors. They're like, oh, everybody in amtgard does this. No, man, nobody does that. But everybody in your game does this, right? Oh, I'm wrong?
Yeah.
No, now we've both learned something.
No, the best part is the fact that, you know Xander? I know Xander?
Yeah.
Xander's everywhere. We love Xander's. He was ours first.
Yeah.
Ours, but he's still amazing.
No,
that plays
Xander isn't real. Xander's in here.
He's in all of us.
Look out there. Whenever you see a puppy snuggling a slightly smaller puppy, that's Xander.
You know a different Xander than I do.
I'm gonna pass the ball to Jeff. Like your year in review. What are your
I didn't do anything.
your short list? You're the fucking monarch. What do you mean?
No,
I
don't
just
know.
tried to give him award recommendation. He's like, did you use the list?
Okay, I don't blame him for that. There's a tool for that. Use the tool or
Well,
don't
instead
bother
of
me.
like saying, "Hey, let's use this," or "Hey, bud, let's do all this," like, no, if you don't put it in, I'm just not going to give it to him. So your work that you did, that you deserve an award for, because I'm not Google Docking it, you're just not getting it. I'm sorry.
Well, but
Yep.
the thing is
Thank
he
you.
has other shit to be doing too, right? So after this podcast is over, he's not going to go home and think, God, I need to really get that award in for Lucas. Like, I got to get somebody on that. He's going to think, I'm going to jerk off and go to sleep. Or like that, or take a shower and go to
Or
sleep.
play
whatever.
League of Legends.
Yeah.
League Leader?
Some
Anyway.
TFTs.
But, you know, like, I'm going to go to sleep and forget all of this ever happened. So if you don't put it in there, you never get around to it.
My problem is that people come up and go, hey, do you remember at the event when I recommended Subway for this award? And then I go, yeah, I actually do remember doing that. And then you didn't give it out. I remember it now. You're
Yeah.
missing the context. I did not remember it 5 seconds after you said it.
If only
And
you were in the Kinkos while I was getting these
I was
printed.
going to
Like,
say, I already forgot that he had said anything about a recommendation.
So that's why you send it in, is because you're working with other real people that don't have perfect memories. And you got to think that if 12 other people did that, all came up and said, hey, I know someone that deserves an award, you should give it to them. They're done. I mean,
yeah.
at events, maybe they'll have a book on them that they can write it up. But even if they did, I would send everyone and say, here's my business card. Go put a
In a
award
way-
rec in here.
In a way, Clover's system of giving awards, and I guess previously it was Wall Baron's system of giving an award, where he just kind of like wrote it down on whatever and handed it to
Yeah,
him.
the napkin
The
awards.
Manatee Awards.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that kind of is a better system because it's like, hey, this guy deserves this award. Cool, 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 cool.
I agree.
Hand me that napkin out of that Arby's bag. Okay, you give me a pen. Order of the Dragon. Here you go, buddy.
That was like the one and only thing I liked about Clover.
It comes with horsey sauce or whatever, you know. I don't know. Like, I get it though. Like, I get being so many people would approach
Oh
me
yeah,
at
I mean
events
it's
and be
impossible.
like,
I'm just giving him a hard time because he's giving me the hard times. Like, well, I'm just not going to award them.
having been a monarch, I feel this violent urge to defend other monarchs for dumb shit. It's
I've
like,
never
yeah,
been
you
a
could
monarch,
just
and I still think that his idea is better than yours.
nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only crown belt at the table who hasn't been monarch.
The only crown belt at the table. Stop.
Yeah, right.
Full stop.
Okay, well that just the fact that monarch, but no monarch, but you're the crown belt.
He might be. He might be
were-
the smartest crown belt of all time.
You were
Yeah.
a prince.
Yep.
You were a
Me
prince.
too.
Don't you
Princess.
have like 9 crowns?
Mhm.
Why don't you just go for it?
Because you've told me plenty of stories since we've become
Oh.
a kingdom that.
That's
Yeah,
true. You
no.
did tell stories.
Well, just be prime minister several times.
Hey.
No.
No, okay, that's fair.
Prime minister is the only like real job that's there.
Yeah, it's true. What? Oh, Vidalia's in the back.
Yeah.
She said, or scribe. Scribe's not real. We don't have scribes in Winter's Edge.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, shout out to Buddy, the current PM. He's
Yep.
doing a great job. With no scribes even.
Yeah.
I'm glad Flo's there because she's like staring daggers through Flo. Nope, that actually made it better. Yeah, thank you. So I guess let's talk about the future of amtgard, right? We kind of talked about the sort of high points of the year, but like future, what do you want to see going forward? What do you expect to see maybe?
Well, a social media boom has happened with TikTok, with YouTube, and it's amazing that literally people from all different parks, just all different interests in the game have just picked it up and it's blown up. So we've got people like Buck Rez, Ruben and his stuff. He had an amazing one today, which is not Christmas, but rewind time.
Yeah, if you're looking at Buckrez TikTok, it's the grab his dick and twist it episode.
That's the one. Check that one out.
Yeah.
Masterpiece. Love that guy.
So good.
Yeah.
Other than that, the Florida crew with, is it Ignis?
Yeah.
And
the Foam Fight Club.
Yeah, Foam Fight Club. Like
Shout out to that dude.
Oh, that's them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool as shit. I didn't know that was them at all.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, this looks like Florida. Neat.
Yeah, I just like random people like, I know that guy. But yeah, a lot of their
A
stuff
lot
is
of blue
pretty...
and tan in this. It's got to be Florida.
Looks like a desolate, sand-swept wasteland. It's got to be Florida.
Right.
Then, of course, you've got with Hogman, Come Try LARP, all their stuff, like his new tournament series that he's doing with amazing commentary.
I need to go hit the YouTube for those because I've seen the TikTok ones and they're really good.
The one
They're
he
legit
did for
good.
Flo getting decked is the funniest shit.
There's a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even like some of our other parks, I think Fear and I has started posting stuff up. Of course, Radiant Valley, Lauren's put some amazing questionable pieces on there. But yeah, just a lot of... We are being exposed to more amtgard at a faster rate digitally than we ever have before. And I think that is going to continue. And I think that's awesome because it's a way to just kind of pull up your phone and stay connected to like, hey, how was Park? You can actually see how Park was for these folks.
True. Yeah.
So Godric with the archive actually did an episode with a person who only tangentially was related to amtgard in the sense that like you played in Godric's backyard and that's it basically. Did some sparring or something.
Yeah, you were telling me about that today.
And he's a social media manager thing, and I think it would be really good for anyone to go watch that episode. I haven't finished it, but I have gotten about halfway through on that one, and it's really interesting as far as like how to target audience type. Well, I mean, it's not a direct how to target audience, but like looking at what your target audience is and doing the kind of like back end of how to do a social media platform for your park or something like that. So I think it's a really good idea to look into that one.
I thought it was good too.
Yeah. And just overall, like the podcast, because we've had like Godric is doing some great stuff with the archive. Kodiak still rocking his stuff.
Absolutely.
You guys,
I miss Kodiak.
Yeah, I do too.
Stab
Kodiak,
Chats.
If you're
they've
listening
been doing
to
their
this,
stuff.
come back on. We miss you.
Yeah. Put us on a Kingdom of Kodiak again. I want to litigate the taco versus sandwich debate again. I've got new evidence.
Which is proof that he lost the first time.
It's not. It's
Can I
not.
eat the evidence?
We should have like visual aids. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, is this a sandwich? Let me check. Nom nom nom. Yep, it's a sandwich. Yeah, but just so much content to take in, and I think that's going to continue. I think we're going to see a lot more going forward, and it only gets better.
Yeah, one of the things that used to kill me when it was first cropping up on TikTok, because there were only like a few LARP channels out there, was people would be like, oh, that's not a real sword. That would never work in a real sword fight. And you like that was the majority of comments. And now I don't see those as much anymore. So either they're like Come Try LARP is more active about removing them, or just people have gotten familiar enough with it now that they're not looking at it as a real combat.
Yeah, we're not HEMA. We're not actually practicing a historical German sword fighting.
Dude, I
or
saw some
anything
like SCA ones where they were like, that would never work in a real sword fight. And I'm like, bro, that's as close as I care to get. Like,
that is literally a real sword. Like, it's a rattan stick, but still.
Yeah, don't hit me with none of that. I'm good.
They're all just trolls. That's really all it is.
They watch too many movies. I remember I just recently watched, what's the name of it? The Last Duel. And at one, I don't want to spoil anything, but at one point, one of the characters wearing a metal helmet gets kicked by a horse, and then like shakes their head and continues fighting. I'm like, no, I'm done with this movie. That guy's dead.
Yeah,
he's just dead. It wasn't a glancing blow. It's like, gong.
Jesus.
Yeah. So for me, looking forward to next year, I have a checklist that I want to do. I want to get some new garb made. The stuff that I wear out I stopped wearing a lot of the hockey jerseys and stuff like that. I wear that when we're hanging out or like if we're doing a recording here in the garage, but I don't wear it out to field as much. That means that I'm down to just a couple of different pieces and that are all triad stuff.
Yeah.
And linen garb.
Who are the triads?
It could be anyone.
It's a fast food restaurant.
No, it's like the mafia in China.
No, you showed us today at dinner. Isn't it like a mead or
Yeah, it's a mead company. They have like a red. I think it's called a Valnut, and their colors are blue and tan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go on.
But no, I want to get some new garb. Linen garb's a great place to do that. You are going to pay a little more for it, but I mean, Sir Gillen has had his and played SCA and amtgard in it for 6+ years now. So, and it's just comfortable. I mean, you wear yours quite a bit.
Yeah, I do.
Out on field.
And just ball it up and put it in the trunk.
Yeah, the wrinkles make it look more authentic because they didn't have washing back then, so I don't wash my garb.
I was going to say it's that the next week I watch it come back out in the same state and throw up in my mouth a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
right.
I wash my garb like I wash my sheets once at college. No, it was actually I was given we had a fighter practice recently, and Beefy and Gillen wore the same, like, you know, the triad hoodie, and then when they took their hoodies off because they got hot, they were both wearing the same jersey, and I was like, oh, you wore matching outfits. And Gillen goes, no, he's wearing the soccer cut. I'm wearing the hockey cut because it's cold.
That really was a
like,
thing.
There's a fucking difference. He's like, yeah, it's different Under Armour, different, you know.
But like, that's a good example though. I don't care to wear our hockey jerseys that we had made out to a fighter practice.
They look cool.
But I just don't want to wear it out to field. And that means that I'm really limited to like 3 or 4 pieces of garb, and they're all old. They're holding up really well. Lexi made them for me long
Oh, that's
time
why.
ago.
Yeah.
I know. But they're all faded, you know. They're not blue and tan. It's more like gray and I don't know.
Also gray.
Yeah,
Kind of
also
purpley.
Yeah.
Gray and grayer.
So checking that one off the list is going to be a big one for me. I've got a lot of the other stuff that I wanted to start working on checked off. Like I have a shield now. I didn't own a shield for a very long time. I always borrowed.
Yeah.
I want to get one of the ultralight poles like Justin has.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah, I asked him about that too.
He can
get
get
my elbows and stuff. So I talked to him a little bit about it, and just to give me a price. They're expensive, but
And then he laughed at you and said, if you have to ask how much it costs, you can't afford it.
Actually,
I mean,
no,
yeah.
because I guess it was somewhat taking pity about my elbows or whatever. So,
but yeah, I want to get some. I want to get a pole made for that. We actually have
25 easy payments.
Yeah, this may date us a little bit depending on when our listeners are watching this, but we're having our first tournament that's going to include archery in February. Our first Weapon Master that's going to include archery in
probably 10 years.
I was going to say
That's
really
cool. I
really
didn't know
long
that.
time. So yeah, I also don't like archery. I actually like archery competitions at the Weapon Master event. I don't like them as part of the Weapon Master because it is kind of a specialty thing. And as Gowan told me a long time ago, archery is the most fun thing in our game. It's also the most expensive thing in our game.
Let people use bows in open.
No.
Where's your sense of whimsy and adventure?
It was lost when I got hit with an arrow in the open.
Took an arrow to the knee.
Yeah. No, didn't say that. So that one's going to be a big one. Just getting together a basic kit so that I have enough to fight Florentine, swordboard, pole, and for archery too, because it's going to be a part of our atmosphere.
That's fair.
For a while. And then the last thing was planning some events outside of amtgard, because I think that we have shown that people are willing to get together and do stuff like that. And now that we can start getting together again in person, I'd kind of like to do stuff like toss an open invite to everybody at the park to go whitewater rafting. And then just, we'll find a company that's willing to take us and post stuff up like that. Or maybe go up and do a camping night in Cades Cove.
We need somebody that wants to put a bunch of rodeo clowns on a raft and just see what happens.
It's about what it was like last time.
Yeah.
Or go up to Cades Cove and do a camping night up there, and everybody just bring their kids and hang out and roast marshmallows and have a good time. I think that's a lot of community building stuff that I would also have a really, really good time with. So
I'd kind of like to see more stuff too, like the Come Try LARP tournament, where it's like non-denominational foam fighting, right? I don't know a better way to phrase that, but like more stuff that's not strictly sanctioned by the kingdom.
Yeah,
because kingdoms have, putting on an event at a kingdom level is just a crazy amount of work, but also like, Come Try LARP proved if you've got a big enough plot of land and some fucking time, you can have a whole weekend of fun that is just players doing it because they want to do it.
Yeah, and I want the Come Try LARP crew that put that together to be able to continue doing stuff like that too.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it just really takes a we have a
village?
lot of we have a lot of commonality in our rule sets. It's just kind of really narrowing down what needs to leave and what needs to come in to make sure everyone's like on the same page, basically. So,
Yeah.
and I think that's the idea. I think that's what they're working towards, to have kind of a unified fighting
Homogenous.
system. Yeah.
I mean, for me next year, like, this is going to sound like a weird call out, but I want to see more volunteers. Over the last now year and a half of online amtgard being what it was, a lot of people kind of aired their dirty laundry, and a lot of people got into that airing of dirty laundry, and a lot of people pointed out problems that I do think exist in our game. And now that you've pointed those things out, I want to see people stepping up to fix them. Because it can't be the same old crew of people doing it year over year over year. And then you get mad at a lack of progress when it's the same people doing it year over year over year. Like, the game needs volunteers, and you've pointed out a reason it needs volunteers. Now step up and do it. And seeing, like, in Winter's Edge, it's been really cool to see the... oh, my watch says it's bedtime. Haha, suck it, Apple. But like in Winter's Edge alone, seeing the crown sort of shift around a bunch, like it was, in Tennessee where it usually has been, and then it moved down to Alabama, and I think most of our kingdom officials were, and maybe still are, in Alabama. One of our newer parks.
Most of our BOD, I think, is still Alabama right now.
Yeah, like a lot of newer people stepped up to take the mantle and say, I want to try that. So seeing it in Winter's Edge has been cool. I think it's been good for the kingdom. Seeing it on a wider amtgard scape might be cool too. I just want to see what people come up with.
Yeah.
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 King Jefflon.
Yeah, actually getting to play battle games again, that's great. That's one of my favorite parts. So
Yeah.
We threw fireballs today.
Yeah, well, okay, we played catch, but it's about as close as we've gotten in a while. Yeah, I'm looking forward for the cold to be done with, because I don't really care much for Amtgard in the cold.
But I got bad news.
That's the best part.
No.
We are like a lot of the weather stuff that I have been looking at, because I do some really, really basic gardening stuff, like plant peppers and things like that.
He grows weed.
We're saying
No, that's your neighbor. Never mind.
that not all of those are alleged things that you are saying.
Yeah.
It's
his alleged neighbor.
All of that the stuff that I'm reading says that we're going to have a cold winter.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not a snowy, but a cold winter and a later than normal last day of frost.
Well, hell, the Farmer's Almanac I keep on the back of my commode says it's going to get warm quick.
Does it?
No, I don't know. I haven't bought a Farmer's Almanac in years.
I legit have a Farmer's Almanac in there from like 1908.
Jesus.
I'd actually be kind of interested to see what one says, a modern one, to be honest. I guess the other thing is...
Oh, no, I have an Uncle John's bathroom reader. Never mind.
Shit.
No, you don't. You have a phone that TikToks.
That too.
I mean, that's what I use, for sure. I'm looking forward to seeing the local park grow. I think that we have a really good chance to do really well. I think that there's enough people who are the core membership that sees the value of battle games and growth kind of thing now again to actually make a bigger move to possibly get... I mean, I know we're a duchy, but a real duchy.
Radiant Valley
our
for
corpora sucks
Principality?
and is really bad. Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, no thanks.
Can we just, like, usurp the throne of the Rising Winds and just call that ours?
Sure.
All
They
right.
weren't using it.
This was a question that came up recently. Like, where is our actual seat?
Our
And-
kingdom seat for Winter's Edge?
I'm sitting in it right now.
Yeah, I mean... No, it's
Yeah,
technically
that
in
one,
Georgia.
that one right
Yeah,
there.
it's
because it was
Kazan
whenever...
was-
Yeah, Kazan was king when it started,
Oh, yeah.
but the original starting place of Winter's Edge as a principality was Knoxville, but
Yeah.
the actual kingdom seat is Georgia.
Yep.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Does it change anything? Like,
Only that you have to be located so far away from other kingdoms in order to get a kingdom, or to make a principality or whatever.
Yeah, and I think it's centered off of the first kingdom seat. So
Oh, okay.
we've kind of put ourselves in a
Weird
spot
position,
in a
yeah.
way.
Because there's nothing around Georgia at all. If any of the groups around here were to decide to form their own kingdom and pull off, then it would just mean that we would have two kingdoms that failed. I mean, outside of growth that would give both of the kingdoms enough numbers to do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if we were to just divide them down the middle based on that boundary, like it wouldn't be a successful endeavor, I guess. Didn't Florida try to do something like that fairly recently where there was like a north-south
There's
debate?
been a lot of talk with Florida about the north-south split, basically, but
Man, I should really clarify north-south being geographically, not north-south being like political divides, because that still is a thing with Union and Confederate, and that's not what I'm talking about.
Part of the problem in Florida, I don't know all of Florida's details. We may have some people comment. Please don't air all of your dirty laundry in our comments, but part of it, as I understood it, was that their state is so long and penis-shaped that
that's their complaint.
You're in a situation where some of the people down towards the tip have to drive like 13 hours to get to an event or something crazy like that.
Oh, God.
But because it's Florida, they're like, it's the same state, so it'll be fine. It's kind of like Tennessee, right? If someone in Memphis driving to an event in Knoxville just can't come to a day event, it's an 8-hour drive.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's
So what do the balls say if the tip is pro?
Valdosta.
I didn't say which one. Like, what are their thoughts on it?
Oh, I gotcha.
I don't
What do
know.
the balls say?
I guess the other thing
Why'd
is,
you leave Florida? My balls is hot.
the other thing I want to do is I think I want to return to kind of like a more basic look for garb, because like I had the tube hood that Lexi made on today, and it kind of reminded me because I wore what I'm wearing in this podcast. Not that you can tell because it's all just black. It's just sweatpants and a long sleeve shirt.
It's a very
And the
Steve
one-
Jobs kind of fit for you.
Yeah,
Do you have
absolutely.
a turtleneck?
No, I don't have a turtleneck, but it's
beans.
But and that hood, and that was basically it. And it made me think about it is like one of the things we can do to seem more accessible at a local level is to not really dumb our garb down, but like make it have a more basic look to it because it looks a little more approachable potentially.
Oh, I'm on it.
So
I
when you
cannot
say-
do anything but like a straight line. So.
When you say basic, you mean more Power Ranger bedsheet-esque?
No.
Garb. You have
God,
to wear
no.
the eye chart garb
I've been
again.
on this train for a while where garb needs to be more, I mean, yes, more simple, but also more like period appropriate. Like I have a plain linen tunic that I made that is just like linen, plackets, tunic, done. If I had a little leather vest, I would look like Shrek.
Do you still have your tester piece of linen where you were learning to sew it and it turned into like it just?
No, it turned into string in my washing machine because I didn't finish it right.
He called me up and he was so excited. He's like, Flo, you got to see this thing. I finally finished. I got some linen garb and it's great. And I got it. The pattern was wonderful. Like I built my own and it fits me perfectly.
It
and
did.
blah, blah, blah. And he sends me a picture and he's legitimately near the in tears. And the picture is just his washing machine with the lid open and it's just
String.
Spaghetti.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
where I
looks
didn't
like
finish it
spaghetti up
correctly.
there.
Yeah, but first off, that's more period appropriate, and so the average passerby can relate that to a Renaissance fair, with which they're almost entirely familiar at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they can go, oh, cool, Ren Fair, and like, well, kind of, but not. Come here, let me show you what this is. But also because that type of garb is easier to make, and it's easier to like work into different sets. You can layer it and put it with different pieces, and like, I'm an assassin. Or, and then you wear that with something over it. And
Yeah,
like,
the brown sash because it's the correct one to do that in, right? Yeah.
you can't fuck with me on sash colors, man. Like, I'm barely there as it is. Is that a warrior, a monk, or a bard? He's yelling at me. Okay, it's probably a bard. Oh, no, I keyed his car. Oh, shit, it's a warrior. No, but you can, like, Beefy had a whole talk about this where you can make simple pieces and then layer them to make a way more complex look.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking about going for.
Beefy we have had an episode idea in the works to have him come on for a while, and it's totally my fault that it's not been made because he basically said, well, I'm ready to go anytime that you want to do it. It's like, yeah, we'll definitely do that. And then I fucked up.
Yeah, you need to do it.
Time.
Dude, it's so good. His idea is so simple and straightforward. It's so good.
That was the thing where it's like simple garb pieces that you can reuse kind of infinitely and how they're easy to make. Like he had a scarf thing that took no sewing at all, literally.
Yep, the no-sew scarf.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Like stuff like that I would like to see a lot more of.
I don't remember. Jay, did you get your? No, you were talking
Yeah, I
about
started.
the
Yeah, Jay
TikTok
led
stuff
the
and all
round.
that.
Remember,
Yeah.
he's the
Remember?
dealer.
Yeah.
In euchre rules, he would have had to
That
give
was
you the
minutes
first cut.
ago. We were partying.
We were partying.
Did you just try to quote euchre rules to me?
You guys don't play euchre?
No, I don't
I
play
fucking
euchre.
love euchre. Are you kidding me? You can play rook?
I do
play
Rook.
Rook.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's the same thing.
No,
I
You
didn't
were
know
talking about euchre the last time I was on.
I fucking love euchre.
that.
It's
Did
so
we
good.
really?
Yes.
That's
Euchre
something
is just
about you,
Rook
then.
with a stock deck of cards. Swear to God.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, you were fucking with me. Damn it. I should be better about this. There's been a lot of directions we've wanted the channel to go, and it's kind of like, I mean, no offense to Beefy, it's just like that's a lot of effort, and it's like it's not something we've had the time to really do.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where we're at this point, because we spoiled it at the start, but we're about to do like a D&D spinoff. Okay, it's not D&D, it's Monster of the Week. That's out of the bag, but like that's going to be something that we're doing fairly soon, and that's going to take us sitting down and actually doing the thing for like 4 solid hours, not counting editing and everything else.
Yeah.
But you got a lot of projects in the bag that you just need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
that's
all sound amazing. Just need to do them.
Okay.
Except for Jeff's. Jeff's sounds pretty dull.
Oh, that's hurtful.
No,
Well,
it's not.
thanks for volunteering to edit our audio and video. You do that, and then we'll have time to do the other things.
We're
and
doing
then
it
we'll-
raw.
Yeah. Fuck it, we'll do it live, right? Like that's how it all goes now. You're just following us on
No, you
Facebook
just
Live
set
through
a Patreon
Goodwill.
up, and then you try to pay someone else to do it for you.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. I mean,
Like, I'll absolutely do it, but my computer's older than your child, so.
no. Surely there's an app on the Oculus Rift that you can edit video
I can just,
with.
in the digital world.
Yeah.
edit.
Just take this clip and put it over
Hey,
here.
How's our audio coming for the next episode? I don't know, but my Digimon's like level 80.
Yeah,
now.
there's zombies
I
in
got
it
a
now.
Gundramon.
Did you see they're remaking those? The little Digimon, like, what are the Pocket Pets?
Oh yeah, like the
Tamagotchis.
Tamagotchis. but not
Tamagotchis,
really.
yeah, they make those again.
Yeah.
I got
Nice.
one.
Good. now, as a
Super cool.
40-year-old man, I
Find
can
hers.
not feed it and watch it die.
Yeah, my Greymon died because I left it at the office, and we didn't come back to the office.
Was it just like a little skull laying on the
Yeah,
ground? when you
no,
go,
it's a bunch of piles of poop and a skull
Yeah.
Oh, I
because
see.
it shit itself to death. It had diphtheria.
To make you feel extra bad.
Diphtheria, yeah.
Yeah, whatever that is. Oh man, what was the thing we were talking about that we wanted to turn into a battle game?
Oh, you were talking about Kabaddi, but I'm not 100% sold on that one.
I feel like we could make it happen.
Yeah, no, I think that's actually something that's really interesting because I actually went down that rabbit hole before because I had known about it prior to that, and I was looking at the
This is relevant because he talked about like more battle games and stuff going forward.
fair. What is it? The
You don't have to explain yourself to us.
like, sure,
the Aztec ball
You
games.
just sort of drop the mic and like,
He's stretching his elbow. He's
Yeah.
doing the
Ah,
thing
yeah,
where
yeah.
like he's...
But like I was looking at different nationality sports. Like there's this one wouldn't Jai Lee or whatever wouldn't necessarily be one. But highlight whatever. Yeah. Wouldn't be one that we could really turn into it. But looking at some of the different nationality sports might be a way to go to find different battle game ideas and things like that too.
What?
Kabaddi might be one of them.
What the fuck are you talking about?
we're just highlight is the thing. It's actually really popular in like
It's like racquetball.
the
but you
reservoir
have,
tip
like, a
of Florida
basket.
and Cuba.
Yeah.
Where you have the big long scoopy thing and the ball that is like as hard as a pool cue ball.
Yeah, it goes like
And
200
you
miles an hour.
Swing it against and it's like the most dangerous sport, but like
I
it
know
still looks
exactly.
crazy awesome.
I know exactly what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize it.
Yeah.
But like Kabaddi is another. It's like an Indian game of tag, but not quite. It looks
Yeah.
interesting, and there's like an attacker defender mechanic that I think we could rip. And
I think that mechanic might be able to be ripped, but I'm dubious about how to.
you don't do the breath holding thing. I think you have like a stone
it's
counter
just
or
a
something.
timer or something. Yeah.
Kabaddi is like you send an attacker and they have to cross a certain line while holding their breath. And the premise of it is that when the attacker is on the opposing side of the field, they have to chant Kabaddi the entire time to show the referee that they're not breathing.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's a time factor involved, and they have to like cross this line and tag tag defenders and then get back across the line within a certain threshold without getting like.
And then if
pulled
they get
back.
tackled or something like that before they make it across the line, then they don't score any points.
Okay, so I'm not breathing. I'm tagging people, and I can get tackled.
Yeah.
Dude, these guys are fit.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'm out.
Yeah.
Well, okay, we take the breathing mechanic out, right? Like you make it a stone count, like you have a 30 stone count to get your tags in or whatever, and then you have to get back across without dying. I don't quite know how we could, but I feel like there's enough there that we could make a battle game based on it that could be fun.
I think the Squid Game could actually be one of the better ones to try.
Okay.
No, I mean like not like the whole Squid Games type thing. But
Red
I mean,
light, green light, but then if
No,
you
no,
go,
no.
I
I'm
shoot
talking
you in the
Like the,
dick with an
squid,
arrow.
the actual
the
game,
actual Squid
game.
Game thing that they put in it that's at the
Okay.
beginning and the end.
Mine involves a lot more dick shots with an arrow.
Yeah.
You're not
That
allowed
was-
to make any more battle games.
I thought the Kabaddi one could have been something, but yeah, okay, Squid Game I'm probably not good for. I mean, how many players play it? Just 2? Like a 1v1? Or like...
No, in the Squid Game thing, I think.
Oh, yeah, it's just the one at the end where they have the single...
Yeah.
Spoilers for Squid Game, I guess, if you haven't seen it.
It's been out long
That's
enough.
on you. Yeah, at this point, that's on you.
It's who was it that was I was talking about some movie that came out it was Legend. I was talking about Legend.
Oh, God.
And I got a spoiler warning. I was like, dude, that movie came out when I was
going to say, that's
5.
like 30 years old.
Dude, I have a separate group chat where we have one person that is always like that. Like, it'll be like, oh, yeah, remember that scene in iRobot? And they're like, I haven't seen it yet. And I'm like, then go somewhere else, asshole. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean?
I can recommend a catalog of Isaac Asimov's work to you.
I'm going to spoil the Bible. Jesus dies. Whoa, God. Like, he comes back. It's fine. That's the real spoiler. I mean, what do you want? You know, like...
There's a sequel?
Yeah. Bible 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
The sequel, the Bible. Oh, no. We're dangerously close to like a Family Guy bit. Like,
It's a good thing we can't get
Jesus is
demonetized.
back and he's
Right.
pissed. Like, I think that is how the bit goes. I don't know. I want to see more like real games turned into battle games, though.
Well, I mean, Jay and I actually were talking a little bit about this on like the transition from V6.7 to V8, and like some of the things that we really missed about it is that like we don't have as many, was it like big moments?
Yeah, so listening to Godric's archive with Sir Raven, they talked about Raven covered where you have moments in version 8 of like, hey, I killed that wizard that was giving my team a hard time, and that was your big day. And that's the story. He's like, oh, well, cool. But have you ever been a level 6 warrior turned vampire and fought the Nosferatu to kill an entire team because no one had any weapons to actually stab you with? I didn't think so. Mic drop. It's that a lot of what we've seen, because one of the problems that our park, Radiant Valley, has is we're old and we don't like change, and you should really get off my lawn.
Some of us might be Nosferatu at this point.
So I know for myself personally, going from 6 when I started to 7, I only read version 8, I think last week, maybe. It's a different game. Like whether it's, better for worse, there's a lot of differences.
It's an expansion, right? Like the abilities have changed. Everything.
Well, I think
plays
they actually
different.
covered it in the archive episodes. They refer to it as D&D version 3.5 going into 4.
Yeah,
Was
pretty
4
much.
the bad one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
4 is
Yeah.
the worst one.
I didn't think 4 was that bad.
No, I didn't.
I haven't.
Okay,
played
it was
any of
exclusively geared for mini play. That was the real problem with D&D
Yes.
4. Like you needed to have minis and a board to.
Yeah,
make
and
it
that's
work.
kind of where we are now in a way
Yeah.
for AmpGuard, because we're on a very
We need to have minis and a board?
yeah, well, okay, yeah. We're very close to
Flo, it's your
a
time to
PvP
shine.
type thing where
Right
it's
behind you.
only PvP and a battleground kind of thing like WoW or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't inherently bad. It's just losing some of the aspect, right? Like Clover did a really good job with the Titans thing during the Greek Reign thing that did create kind of like an interesting
something epic, like
an epic
actual
feel to
battle
something that's
that
going on. Yeah,
created. Sadly, I
we're
was
missing
not
a
there
lot
for
of those now, and that's one of the things from the transition that I think we're just not thinking in that way anymore, because we've balanced everything as close to 1-to-1 as we can at the moment, as far as class v class goes, and because of that, we lose some of the moments of like, man, Flo's playing the real powerful wizard that he can play, and it's a fucking pain in the ass to deal with, but I dealt with it in some random goofy way as a monk, So,
Yeah, but it's good to have him on my team,
Yeah.
to beat this challenge, whatever that happens to be.
Yeah. And just being able to work through games that we had talked about with, because a lot of, at least for our park, we have folks that haven't been up to date on version 8.
there's like 3, I don't know, we're like a duchy by our corpora, but there's probably 3 of us who know how to play the game in V8.
Yeah, and it's not even so much that, but it's the what do you find enjoyable when they do come out to play. Like I'll pick on Darko, where he just is not interested at all. He's just out there to hang out with his friends, have a fight. Like, you want a battle game? He's like, no.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, why not? We can do this. We'll play this game. He's like, there's just so much going on. Because it's overwhelming to just step back into something like that. And a lot of our players are like that at our park versus our newer players that are still like super excited to get the stuff done. But while they're learning, they don't have anyone to learn from. They don't have an example of someone who is actively leveling up a class and showcasing the effects and the abilities.
Talking about it every week. Hey, I finally hit level 3. I can now use these spells. Hey, what spells out of level 3 do you think I should take? That sort of stuff. We used to do stuff like that to each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I remember growing up in the game of like, all right, I'm level 1. This is miserable. And then you see like the level 3 doing all kinds of great things. You're like, I can't wait to be level 3.
Yeah,
then
when I get there, they'll all be sorry. Like,
yeah, exactly. And then like 6 is such like a far off fantasy. Like, once I get there, no one will stop me. And you actually get to see other people progressing. They would learn. You'd see where, sadly for us, it's just like, hey, I'm playing. We'll pick on Lauren. She's a barbarian. What is a barbarian doing all this? I don't know. Like, you swing the sword. That's what you do. So she...
Blood and thunder.
Yeah, like she knows all of the moves and technique. And so now what she will do is literally kidnap people that comes out to the field like, you're a part of the barbarian horde. I don't know what that was like. You're a barbarian. This is what you do.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This is what you do. And then they go do it. And then people have started to learn the class.
See, there's some part of me that thinks like every time a new version comes out, like if it's significant enough, all the classes should start back at level 1.
I agree.
Because like, I'm a level 6 bard. Cool, we're on new rules, so here's all your new stuff. I don't know any of that.
Yeah, well, like I'm level 6 in practically all the classes.
Right.
I couldn't do anything in version 8.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm a level 6. I guess it's kind of like a shortcut for me. Like, I built a wizard. So, like, cool. But I haven't played wizard in over 7 years.
Yeah.
And I don't know any of the stuff. Like, I'll just take what I know and move on. I don't have to worry about the grind of leveling up. But then again, I haven't earned my level 6 prowess of, like, you're getting your spells wrong. That kind of stuff.
Like, maybe not start at level 1, but like, or if you start at level 1, change the leveling system so you get there quicker. Because I do think the amount of time to get to level 6
so for the first like couple months, everyone's like level 2. At the next, level 2 to 3 to 4, and you're done. Instead of the full level up scale.
Well, I mean, you can do that as you're at your park anyway.
Correct, but it's like the idea of when I feel like version 8 was a big enough shift.
You got to force the game to.
Well, I mean,
it.
this is where the balance problems come into play, right? Like if I play level 6, whatever, versus like other like newer players playing level 1s and 2s and whatever, then like they can see me do stuff and then be like, well, I don't have any ability to deal with him. So on a local level, you can play like everyone's 3rd level, and you just know ahead of the time. Mm-hmm. And I think that like 3rd or 4th level is where you kind of get like
coming to your own.
Yeah, you're on the track. You have a little bit of options, but you're not way too many options where you've got like to actually make real big choices on how your build's going to work out and stuff.
Well, the problem is like our park might do that, but unless it's policy, most parks won't.
Right, but I mean that's
really,
what leadership can do. If you're seeing a lot of like new people come in, you probably want to run a game or two or a game every week where like everyone's like level 3 or something like that, so that people kind of see where they're going to, or dragging people down so that they're not just beating everyone because they're level 6, not because they're any better necessarily than the next person.
You can use it as your warm-up game.
Yeah.
Like your very first battle game that you run is just, you can make it a thing where it's like, hey, we're playing the lobby game.
Yep.
This coming week, it's going to be level 2.
Yeah, but you have to be careful because you cannot just do every game that way because...
No, yeah.
But you do like one every now and then or every week.
And it might be just unique to us because, again, we're old and bitter.
We're an older park,
like,
yeah.
Version 8's been out for 7...
I don't know.
It's been out long enough that they're working on version 9.
Exactly.
Like...
So it's the fact that we don't know it, that's on us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that.
But hey, version 9's coming out, so why would I read version 8? Because I got another one coming out.
Well, I mean, Jeff's made a similar point to like how you wish Paragons and before that Masterhood stayed that specific title. Mm-hmm. So like you were a master archer, right? But now it's Paragon. So like you got your thing in a different time. Like you still carry that title, but like now you're not a Paragon archer. You have to re-earn that.
Yeah, when I got my Paragon archer, I could make an arrow worth 8 points.
Yeah, of damage, yeah.
Wait, can you do that?
Mm-hmm.
It was
God.
technically you can make it a lot, but
Yeah, you can make it more than that.
it was
But why?
5 base off of the thing, and then
Okay.
In 7 there was a druid enchantment I think that could actually bump it up.
Yep.
Simulcast up to 4 times or something dumb like that, so you can make just heat
A
sinker.
single arrow do ridiculous amounts of damage.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was dumb. It became a killer, like a single arrow killer.
Yeah. I thought it was neat.
Oh yeah, stuff like that was neat. But
I guess depending on how many of those you
Because
got,
that's
right?
the epic story. It's like,
Well,
we
I mean-
start the game, I'm like, I took my 15-point arrow. I only get one of them, and I had to have friends to do it.
Yeah.
And I shot the monster from across the field, and we killed him in one shot.
Mm-hmm.
That's
or I got my friends together and made a 15-point arrow and I missed.
And
then all
wasted
of my-
everyone's time.
all of my friends beat me up.
And that's a great story,
yeah, that's
too.
also a, like...
I've got more of those stories than anything.
Yeah,
And I
I
loved
mean-
it.
Is there anything we're looking for? Like, chronologically, this is going to be weird because this is going to come out after the One Joe episode. But is there anything we're looking for in V9 that we think would be super cool? Aside from, like, unfucking armor.
Armor's weird.
Yeah.
Armor's weird and everything. Every
Yeah.
tabletop I've played, like, it gets done. There's not a good way to do it.
I don't know. I think we're in, again, this is clearly just me because it's been out forever. Just the idea of what the games are trying to do. If we are going to be swords and sorcery and we are sword cut, spear stabbing, and by the white light, where does the light come from? Who is the light? And then there's a dark light. Are we going to Are we going to get into the lore? Then let's either...
God, amtgard having a unified lore might actually break the game. Like, that might make people more
But
mad
for the
than
battle
anything
game
else.
aspect of, do we care more about that with our incantations and
Whatever
spell?
puts an end to themed reigns, I guess I'm good
They
for.
actually did a thing for one of the surveys, kind of addressing that. I don't remember what the
Right,
results
and
are.
this is kind of what we're
Right,
saying.
yeah.
It's like, or do we just do the fact that, like, here's just a bunch of silly words that get you this effect, and it's a timed thing. So why don't we just, like, I need to heal flow. Healing 1, healing 2, up to 5, up to 10, and we call it good. Does it detract from the game? Is it that part do people care
I think
about?
the singular incants and the singular count things do actually detract from the game. I think that having the incants that have like the white light of healing type thing are better for the game overall. I don't think we have to really dive down the lore per se, but I think having a more unified front for each like type.
Yeah. I'm picking the extremes.
yeah.
of
Well, you
both.
almost build a flavor into that class, right? Like,
Right.
by calling it the white light of healing, there is some subconscious thing where healers are going to wear a lot of white. Like, that is a very base level thing, right? But it informs a lot of decisions that those classes can and often do make. This is actually a thing in, like, game design as well, is just by the naming of a thing, you inform, like, you're kind of telling your players what to expect when it comes on screen.
Yep. Well, it's kind of like I built a bolt wizard, and I was telling Jeff about it, like just going through the incantations, like I'm evoking this and I'm evoking that, and force bolt just feels like I punch you in the face. That's my force bolt, because everything else has a magical property and a school, and then like force bolt, bah. That was it.
Yeah.
It took all of the mystique away, but it's super simple to understand.
I hate to sidetrack like this, but there is a manga where that is basically the premise. It's like Harry Potter with muscle men, and so like everybody else has magic powers, but this one dude is just really fucking strong and is trying to get by being a wizard. So they're like, I cast fireball, and he's like, I cast punch, and he just punches dudes.
I dig it.
Or like, I cast fly, and he's like, I cast jump real good. Whee! So like that could be fun.
Yeah.
I'd play that class.
I'm down. But I don't know, like armor, if we can clarify that.
Armor, I can tell you, is getting a real look. I can't tell you one way or the other because I'm off that thing now.
He knows, he just won't tell us. Tell us what you know. Tell us your secrets.
No, I'm off the V9 stuff for Winter's Edge now, so I'm not on it. But like, armor is getting really looked at in multiple different ways. So
Really just, I don't know, myself personally, from what
Up
I've
close,
seen.
far away. He said it's getting looked at in a lot of ways, so I said up close.
Oh,
far
Yeah.
away.
Are we Grover, like deer?
It's armor.
No, just how, like, we've covered the classes prior to in 6 and 7 were not balanced because it's here's your magic. They're 1 to 10. Archers was 1 to 5, and then your melee classes. Fine, they were never meant to be equal. Now all of them are equal, and they're definitely not equal in any way. And then listening to this guy with like, well, just whatever class you want to play, cool, play druid, and you're doing that class better than the class itself is. So that becomes a problem. Hopefully, I'm a fan of taking away either. I like extremes. You go one or the other. You take it all away, strip it down so that you just have like 3 classes.
A thing is not perfect until there is nothing left to remove.
Yes.
I ascribe to this on a spiritual level, so continue.
Yeah, so like your melee, you'll have your melee, which will give like 2 classes of just, here's your armor-based, and then you can have your projectile-based. And that's your 2. For magic, you'll have your 2. You'll have your heals, supports, mends, and the other will be like the magic swords and sorcery.
Yeah.
And then that's it. All of the abilities we know now would just fit into one of those categories, but
You almost just have the Fire Emblem triangle at that point.
yeah, something like that. Or you actually make them all very, very unique with only their own. Like we were discussing, listing through why does Druid and Wizard have these abilities, but the healer doesn't. This is a very healer thing. And then all of them have this ability, except the class that it feels like they should have it.
Bring back swords to plowshares.
Well, here's the thing: is that because we're built on
It's the bandolier of daggers.
This is going to be funny because I'm sure it's going to get addressed prior to, because of our chronological order problem.
Yeah.
But we need to look at. We have like a system that's almost hard counters with the rock paper scissors ish idea, and what that does is if you don't bring that class to counter another one, the other one goes unchecked. So the idea of having soft counters rather than hard counters is a better idea design-wise, but that does potentially mean some homogenization and things like that. And so it's kind of a conundrum that's being addressed as well.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Well, those are just some of mine. Like you said, One Joe will pop out before me, so...
Yeah.
Thank you, One Joe, for solving all of my concerns and problems.
Yeah, we'll just splice in all of the questions that you'll no doubt be answering, and I'm not going to take the time to edit it like that. I don't know. I want more flavor. Like, everything being homogenized is a little boring.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm sorry, but Bard being able to do legend and, like, kidnap a bunch of people by telling them a story,
Yes.
like, was fun as shit, you know?
Yeah, except for the people who were hit by it.
Fuck
I would
those
play
kids.
nothing but Bard. They just, sorry, you don't get to have fun anymore.
Yeah,
kids.
that- I
you
mean,
just
that's-
tell a flow story and they're
That's
done.
one of the things that's trying to be addressed is agency of players not being robbed, because what people want to do effectively is do my thing and then get to play.
Yeah.
Right? So things that like Ice Ball to Legend of Yesteryear and things like that take away the agency of a player, and there's not really a good countermeasure for it.
You can take a
And-
death at any time.
Yeah, but then you're not really playing the game. That's
Well,
kind
you
of the
just
point.
get right back into the game.
It depends on what the format is. If it's an immediate respawn, then sure. But if it's not, if it's 60 seconds or whatever, then it's not.
There's still a solution to this problem that we're probably not tripping over. But, like, I understand that being a concern and player agency being a concern. But, like, Doomsday was such a cool fucking spell that we never get. Like, you talk about having your big moments. Somebody getting
it was
off a
bad.
Doomsday on the field. Fuck you. You want these big moments. Like the fucking newbie wizard getting off his Doomsday by hiding in a trash can. Cool as shit, guys.
Okay,
I'm
that
sorry.
actually happened.
Yeah. Like, that's a cool fucking story, right? And, like, you make moments for that when you add flavor. I mean, again, making the game better probably makes more opportunities, but, like, those are still cool moments for me that I think I'd love to see told again.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what I'm getting at. We do a lot of battle game type stuff at kingdom level things, and it becomes like a couple, usually 2 teams, right? Or maybe 3 teams if you're lucky. And it's not got a lot of extra stuff that makes sense, right? Or if it does make sense, that it's just a purely like team versus team type thing, and it's 1-to-1, so like there's not like this overcoming this big obstacle kind of thing. So like I was saying earlier, Clover did the Titans thing. Each Titan had a gimmick of some sort, and like one of them had he used a mechanic he called, I don't know where it's at, if he made it up, by my voice. And if you said by my voice, shatter weapon and can't, I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. If you were in range and are affected by that spell, then you were affected. So this Titan was just breaking everybody's weapons. So you had to either figure out how to kill him fast enough before he got it off, or figure out another way to deal with him. And this kind of plays into like the soft counter type thing. So like if your team didn't bring a bow,
Good luck.
Yep. Or something along those lines.
I hit you with the Star Fox Rob there.
Yeah, right.
Good luck.
But I mean, again, that was done during V8, and I think had some like cool things to go through. And it's just because I think that our game design is a little boring at the moment is the problem.
Yeah, but that's on the game design, not necessarily like the rule book.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, it's a problem that like they solved a lot of problems when V8 came to be, but I think they introduced problems too, and that's kind of the
yeah,
thing
it's trying
here.
to shave it down to less problems overall.
Yeah, like I don't blame the V8 team for like,
No,
this is boring. Like they did what their job was, which was to
Yeah,
kind of streamline the game. I don't know. I just want more flavor. Swords to Plowshares was cool as shit. I think like the sack full of daggers was a fun mechanic.
The Santa sack.
Yeah, exactly.
And you get a heal. And you
Hold
get
this.
a
I don't need a dagger. Hold this. Thank you.
Yeah.
Put it back in the sack, please.
Yeah.
I have to heal someone else now.
Yeah.
Take a dagger.
This is broken. I need to go get it mended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think like you're not gonna like this, which I think is fun.
Excellent.
But like non-combat classes, they talked about that for I believe it was Darkon.
Yeah.
Like where they have artificers and shit. Like non-com classes, I think are a cool thing that we could easily add in. That
No,
add a
I think so,
ton of
too.
flavor. We
Yeah.
were supposed to disagree, and we were gonna be like, it's a
Old
taco,
school, we used to
it's a
have.
sandwich.
Old school, we used to have druids that would just be
Candy.
Yeah, your candy druids.
Yeah.
Where, like this was someone who was not actually playing.
Just a
right?
druid in a white van.
Yeah, right.
Kind of. I mean, like you would go. They would be
I don't
sitting in a
like it.
chair at
Well-
the beginning of the match, and you'd walk over, and they'd go, "What do you want? Here are the
The old
enchantments."
school circle of protection healers that didn't go anywhere. They
Yep.
just summoned dead, rezzed them
Healed,
and moved on.
rezzed, and popped out. Yep.
That's
I
fair.
actually still think that if we're just talking raw power, that's one of the most useful things.
Summon
Right.
dead. Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, this is the old school one, so it's a little different than what
How
people
it
may
is
be used
now.
to now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. The idea of an artificer though, like as a non-com class, being able to like, you didn't bring the soft counter. Well, I'm an artificer and I can make one for you.
Yeah, no,
Right,
I think
like-
something like that could be really cool. It's just, I think that we have to be careful with it to some degree. I don't know.
Like this is a magic bow since you didn't bring one. It works by yelling pew 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 at the enemy.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I'm so good at archer now. The only way Flo became good at archery.
He keeps yelling boom headshot and he doesn't understand why nobody's taken a death. Boom headshot. That doesn't count.
I'm on the case.
Yeah, right.
I was going TF2.
No, but don't worry.
The TFT, the Team Fortress 2 joke killed the party, huh?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
it. We're done.
Beans. Wow.
Never played it. Remember, computer older than your kid.
Actually,
TF2 is older than your computer.
Yeah, right.
It is. Yeah.
It was in the original orange box.
Oh,
You could
Jade-
play it on Xbox One.
I'm
Jay,
not a PC
do you know what
gamer.
the
No,
original
Xbox.
orange box is?
Original Xbox.
Portal 1
Oh,
and something else.
Okay. you
Portal
do
Mostly
one.
just
actually-
because Portal.
TF2. And what else is in the orange box? Portal 1,
Half-Life?
TF2,
Half-Life. Yeah.
Half-Life, yeah.
Half-Life. Yeah. Wasn't Gary's mod in that? You know what? We're getting off topic.
Were we ever on topic?
Vaguely.
Okay.
For a minute.
Merry Christmas.
All right.
Today I learned that we have topics.
Yeah.
He said Merry Christmas, and I was going to roll the outro. Are we good with that, or like do we have
yeah.
more?
Go ahead and roll it.
Do it
fine.
again.
Wait. Before you do that. Was there anything else we were going to talk about? We have anything else to talk about?
Yeah.
I don't think we had anything else. to
Yeah,
talk
I was going to give some shout outs.
Were you going to give some shout outs?
Yeah, they gave me
Merry Christmas! No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Well, no, you gave me 10 minutes. Just want to say thanks to you guys. Again, podcast has been amazing. You guys are kind of amazing. Not really,
You.
but the podcast has been awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you to our guests for making it awesome.
Dog, seriously.
Yeah. But just that this helps show that there's a community, that getting people from across the country, just next door to you, talk about a goofy game. Because think about it, we are grown people pool noodles and Nerf balls and what have you, dressing funny on the weekend, but there's a lot of cool people in our game and cross gaming and everything else. So thank you guys for continuing to do what you do. I don't know if it's inspired others, but there's been other podcasts. Avi with his Warrior podcast.
Path of the Warrior. No, that's not it.
No.
Darn it.
Good try.
Yeah, it's like the Warrior podcast and directly addressing like warrior class type stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty neat and focused. Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of where, hey, you don't know your class? Listen to this. And they actually cover, this is the ability. This is how you use when you could and helpful things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just generally all of the people out there that, even though you don't get to play with them on a regular basis, are still out there. The level of communication across our kingdom. I've been talking to Oz from Ever Living Woods quite a bit. He's a goobery dude, and I love him. So I get to talk to him way more than I ever did before. Just all the White Oak folk have been cool. Hanging with Kazan, fighting with him, April, Katie, just all that. Chuck, the fact that he can still move is great.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work, bud.
We're doing a fundraiser to buy Chuck Robo ankles.
Yeah.
Is that the...
Yeah. It's totally worth it. But I think that's what a lot of this year has shown us, is just like that little bit of camaraderie. Like, we were very negative before over the years, where I feel like this year there's been a higher sense of positivity, where just knowing like this is your game and it's our game and we like to continue to play our game, and to do that you need friends. And as it turns out, everyone there could be your friend. Very few people are there to like, I'm just here to hurt people.
I'm going to hurt your leg. I'm going to break your leg.
Yeah. So it's like,
Bloody
get out
heroes.
there, meet some new
Bloody heroes.
people.
Yeah, bloody
People you wouldn't even really expect to know or hang with. Like, we've had a lot of just eclectic people hit our park recently. That's
Yeah,
a
we
main
have.
part of our group that we would have never really been prepared for. Of just like, neat, weird, this is cool.
Yeah.
And then you move on and grow, and the park's been doing great. Other parks have been doing that. And just being able to promote other people, because we've like, hey, you do a cool thing, stop what you're doing, like, that's a cool thing you did, thank you for doing that. Hey, anybody who cared, that's a cool thing, let's, even if it's just an attaboy, it's still people like, it's like volunteer work.
Yeah.
People like that. It doesn't have to be like, oh, you have to sign the contract, you are this crat, you must do this, and the moment something goes wrong, we're going to hate you for it and put you on blast. No, it's literally just, hey, we're moving chairs. Why are we moving chairs? Oh, because we're about to start court. We need all the chairs. Oh, I'll just take my chair and move it. That's amazing.
No, consult with the chaircrat. You have to.
Exactly. It's like just...
I was legit a chaircrat at that last event.
We're turning amtgard into Teamsters very slowly but surely.
Jeff's shaking his head, but you know that I was.
Yeah, no, I know.
No, I mean, like the Teamster thing in the, like, I'm kind of pretty good pro-union type thing, but there are limits, and my dad found one that I was very upset about.
Oh, God.
Well, yeah, if you just take care of your own stuff, throw away your trash, pick up after yourself, like the cleanup crat and stuff like that, they do a lot of work. And really just, I don't know, I'm a dad. As I pick up your broom, pick up the mess, I yell at my kids all the time, like, when you're finished with something, you put it away.
Yeah, don't put it down. Put it away.
Yeah, turns out grown people fail at this.
No,
They
you just
sure
throw it in the
do.
corner.
Yeah, it's like, it's that.
They sure do.
No. Who you
Hi,
looking at over there?
Lauren.
Oh, it's just Vidalia. She's just sitting under the disc golf basket.
So yeah, it's like what little volunteer work is really just take care of your own stuff.
Yeah.
Will go miles and miles, and the other people that have set up, it gives them more time to do their job better, to make for a better event. And we've had a lot of really good, like we had that huge event.
Yeah.
It's just, there's a lot of good people there doing great pieces of work. And it's amazing to celebrate all of that. The arts and crafts that people have done over COVID, they finally get to show them off. Like, hey, you made the thing. You look cool. That's awesome. Hey, I made this. We're doing this. fighting. We were out fighting again.
Mm-hmm.
It's been amazing getting to just really just have that level of connection again. As we broke Beefy's psyche down today. That was fun.
I missed out on that. No.
Yeah, no, it was cool. We're like, he throws the shot, and Jeff's like, "Why would you do that? I don't get it. Why would you do that?" And Beefy he's just like, I just,
why would I do
this
that?"
feels good. Jeff's like, no, it's good, but I want to know why. I want to know more. And we went deep into it. So it's just having that. Friends are amazing, and friends are needed to make it through the year. And I think I've seen plenty of memes where, like, we're not going to say 2022 is going to be my year. It's like, no, you shut your face.
Yeah.
We're all going to walk in
Quietly. Yeah.
Not going to say anything. We'll get it done and over with. We'll move on. And the best way to do that is with friends and companions. So
That's fair.
I think there's a lot of people out there. Shout outs. Ruben. Yay, Ruben.
Yeah, just for all of it. Good.
Yeah.
Good
Yep.
Rubening, Ruben. You're my favorite sandwich. That's not true. I don't like Rubens that much.
Yeah, neither
I do.
No.
Love me some good kraut.
I don't
man.
like kraut. That's the problem.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but Flo, you're a myth to them, so.
Yeah, for as
true.
much as you like Ruben, you've never gone to visit.
It's true. I give those guys shout outs so much, and we have gone up to visit them, and they have come down to our park multiple times. And I travel quite a bit for work, so I've been gone or working that weekend or otherwise not able to attend in some way, to the point where their park does not think I'm real.
Well, I know it's a bit of a violation of HIPAA, but we've talked about it before. You've been medically diagnosed with Sasquatch syndrome.
I have.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
like they're just, you're always just a blur.
I actually
Yeah,
want
watch
to
when
get
we
a
pull out my
filter.
camera, you'll see them blur on.
I was going to say I want to get a filter to go over our video that just always has me slightly out of focus.
Yeah. I can probably make that happen. I think there's like a built-in tool for that, so I don't have to do a lot of work.
Do I get all of the other cool stuff with it?
Mm-mm.
Can I pick up trees and yuck them?
No. No. You
Use
just
them
get to
as a
be blurry.
baseball bat? Oh.
You're just blurry. That's all.
Well, I'll file this away with my other superpower, which is finding used towels on disc golf courses.
Dog, it's a problem.
Gross.
My superpower is knowing when people's pants are unzipped, so it could be worse.
I legit find about 4 or 5. The towel that I have on my disc golf bag is a towel that I
and
randomly
you've
found
never
on a
gotten
course.
it clean. Never. It
Oh,
looks
no.
like my college bed sheets.
that one time.
Now do we have to show it at this point?
The towel? We don't have to. No, we don't have to show that at all, actually.
Ladies and gentlemen, Flo's towel.
I don't want to
don't
touch
like it.
I really don't.
Oh, God.
Oh, she's oh, don't.
God, it touched me.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, blow your nose.
Believe it or not, this towel is supposed to be white.
It was. It's horrible.
Was.
It's like a law firm of some kind.
He picked it up off the ground looking like that,
I did.
and it still looks like that.
No, he washed it. It was a little whiter at one point.
It was a little whiter at one point.
Was
Leaving it out in the rain does not count as being washed.
Does it? I
Well,
mean, water is involved, right? Like,
It counts when I
halfway
wash
there, at
myself
You can
like
use
that,
all the
right?
towels you find to make garb for this new year.
Oh, wow.
hey man, what's your measurements, Lucas?
No,
I'm asking for a friend.
Anyway, it turns out I've got turbo tetanus from that towel garb you made me.
I'm a friend.
Turbo tetanus? I've never heard of that. Yeah, I'm going to die. Like, what do you do?
If we did an episode where I played disc golf, would you come out?
No.
Yeah, you would. Okay, cool. Would you get your brother to come out?
Your brother's pretty good, so like...
Yeah.
I wouldn't call Josh good at disc golf, but he's fun to hang out with.
He was fine. It was we bumped into him at Powell Station and played around
Hey,
with
Jeff,
him.
You and me and Lucas are at different places in our disc golf career.
Yeah, that's true. That's very
So,
true.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Man, are we ever going to do that? We keep talking about it like it's a...
I really want to, and this is a good time of year for it too, because all of the leaf coverage is down, so people can actually watch us hitting the trees instead of just watch
of
the
them
disc
just
disappear into the
disappearing,
green.
It'd be fun to do. It's just a matter of like lugging all that stuff out there to the course and then doing all of that.
It's a camera.
You're not wrong. That's fair.
But see, those are the projects, man. You got to get on it. They
Bro.
could be cool.
Legitimately, some of the pro channels just use their phones.
Yeah, I believe it, honestly.
Simon Lazat's channel is just a cell phone video.
Not always.
Oh, does he have a
Yeah, no, he actually has a really good camera. Like, there's one Vlogmas last year that he was talking about where he doesn't take care of his shit and he just throws it in the back of the car and he broke his camera.
God.
The audio port doesn't work on it anymore or something like that. I don't
That's
remember.
hilarious.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Any more shout outs?
Yeah, but no, you should probably end it because I can go for a while.
I mean,
This is your episode.
It's
with
your episode,
Subway
dog.
and the Manger,
Oh,
man.
well, I mean, that's the thing. Like Florida people, we got
It's
to
the
see
Christmas
the Florida
episode.
people
You've
come
made a
up.
list.
So Ada, Lady J, Stinky, loved him coming up.
I liked him mocking people in our
Yeah,
tournaments.
he was amazing.
funny as fuck.
Like,
No, get out of there.
yeah, I am not. You guys know, if you're longtime listeners to the show, that I'm not a big fan of that type of ridicule. But I'm also not not so much of a hypocrite that I realize that there are times where it's needed.
It was just funny, like comedically and everything.
The
Like,
timing was amazing.
Yeah, it was-
couldn't have happened to a nicer sluffer.
I don't even remember who it was that
doesn't
did that.
matter.
Like, I cannot.
Oh, well,
It doesn't matter.
They don't
but
even
it
have a
was funny.
face in my memory. It's
they're on
just
the
a
naughty
moment.
list. We'll say that.
Yeah, Jay knows.
Yeah.
That's okay. He's going to do his call out section after his shout out section.
Yeah,
It
right.
would just
that
be like a
person-
scroll
hey.
of all the people.
Yeah.
Hey, could we do something that was, speaking of different projects, could we do one called you know what, fuck you, and it's just it's a different person that I have on every week where they just shit talk, and we go back and forth about whether their shit talk's valid or not. You could be our first guest.
Oh, God.
I'd be down for that.
I think that actually sounds kind of
All right,
fun.
break
I'm
us
not
off
gonna
a piece. Hit us with one.
I'll have Jeff on just me and him as a one whole episode, and it's just I say one thing and then walk away, and I come back an hour later, and he's finishing his V for Vendetta style rant.
Yeah.
about
You know what?
whatever it
Fuck
is.
druids. Now you go.
lie. Yeah, fuck
Oh,
druids.
he
It's
just
fucking
slides you the
terrible.
rule book, like read it, and you're like, okay, you're right.
Yeah. Aw.
But getting into the events, stuff like that have been great. So seeing them. Then, of course, that one over there, Lauren, as much as she pisses me
That
off.
one?
Yeah,
Right there?
that one.
That one? Right.
She's
over there?
done
We're not
amazing work
turning
over
the
this
camera.
past year.
I can't turn the camera.
Scroll work of organizing local park stuff, of orchestrating
Wait,
tournaments.
can we turn the camera? Hold on. Let me see.
No,
if
no,
we can do
don't.
this. Why not?
It's because it's screwed in.
No,
No, you're
no.
incapable
Don't you
of
move.
walking.
It's fine.
She says Obscura.
Oh, Libby is.
Libby
yes.
is amazing.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah,
Like,
I can get on that train.
yeah. Gotta love her for that. Just all the other parks. Like, we had Simavir come down, him and his little crew.
Uh-huh.
Yes, that was great. Just good little down to earth
visited
folk.
He did he actually vended at the last event. He had like
Yeah.
the wooden, what is it called, lathed bowls
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. That was cool.
Ah, dude, his stuff is so cool. He actually came down and just called us up just to hang out. Like, they were in the Knoxville area. They weren't going to be here on any days that AmpGuard were in, and we went to Monster Burger, got some Monster Burgers, which, by the way, is
Yeah, and got some food poisoning potentially.
Yeah.
yeah, they got shut down because their health rating was so low.
Uh-huh.
They had spiders.
I
in
was
their kitchen.
there. I know.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. I'm every time Jay and I.
Hey,
go
has
to eat
anybody
somewhere,
told Simi this? Because like, if the episode comes out and he just hears it, it's gonna be rough news to take.
I'm
Maybe
gonna get a
someone should
text and
call
be
him.
like, "Hey, man, thanks for being a good friend," and that's all it's gonna say.
"Yeah." Last time I invite you out.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I'm sure I'm forgetting loads of people, but just it's been a pretty good, positive
If only
year.
you had like a spreadsheet where people entered those names and then you remembered them by looking at the spreadsheet to
Mhm.
give them kudos.
Yeah. But see, the difference is when other people tell me good things like that, then yeah, that would stand out. But no one tells me good things.
There's nothing good about you, so
Yeah. I get that a lot.
Valid point. If we're gonna go back to our other thing,
Yeah. 1 point you. Yeah.
It's just little mancala beans.
Yep. So, no, just I think it's been a great year, and I
it
think
has. You got your kids in. Your kids came out and played. I don't know if they like it or not, but they've come out a couple of times and played, and they seem like they have certain things in the game that they find really fun.
yeah,
There's-
Lawrence abducted Ray into the barbarian horde.
Yeah, you've got Pop Tart and Naruto person.
Yeah, Uchiha.
Uchiha. See, I knew it was a Naruto thing.
Bunch of nerds.
Give me my mancala beads.
You know, Gabby loves shooting bows. Just that's
Cool.
what she enjoys. Gave her assassin. It's like, all right, all you just step into shadows and they'll go away. So it's like, I'm about to get hit. I step into shadows.
I loved that Beefy's daughter came out, and Jeff was making fun of all of the rest of the park because she was playing assassin, stepped into had drawn her character. She actually made a little picture of her character, went out onto the field, stepped into shadows, came out and used another ability, and then killed someone. And Jeff's like,
She's used more abilities than everyone else on the field combined.
yeah, for the past 6 battle games. She's like, she just now started playing a week ago, and she knows more about our battle gaming system than you do. Do you feel bad? yeah, dude.
I cast sword.
Yep.
I cast longer sword.
Flo casts up spear. It's very effective.
That's been another cool positive thing that's been going on. I will run your podcast in the ground.
And to all a good night.
No, Beefy, just weapon tech across the board. A lot of different people. We had Belle I think she orchestrated a weapon. It was a plasti dip thing of just like different craftsmen, sword construction, things like that.
Yeah.
That was great. Just a lot of people crafting. Oz, shout out to Oz. It was great. He was making his swords and he was texting me. He's like, this is how I do my stuff. And I found this really cool way to do the pommel. Like you attach here and you do this and you torque it down and you use the craft foam and it lasts forever. I'm like, dude, that's really cool. Did you just come up with that? He's like, yeah. He was super proud. I was like, I came up with this all on my own. I'm like, nice. That's awesome. We've been doing it for the past like 15 years. He's like, oh, I'm like, but you did it on your own. Yep. That's awesome. And like a lot of people are branching out to do that stuff. Beefy's made countless crazy weapons, awesome weapons, longer weapons, shorts.
The memory foam hammer.
Yeah.
So good.
Those are great. And I've seen a lot of people just getting crafty. And that doesn't necessarily mean like garb and stuff like that, but weapon tech, just different ideas. Heyo. That little man.
Oh, I was like, heyo.
No,
what's up?
I congratulated him. I can't remember if it was a smaller event before Coronation. And I walked just off to the ditch field. I saw him. He just, what was it, a spin shot or a dark side? It was the dark side. Yeah, he just dark side this kid clean. I'm like, man, that's pretty good.
That's 2 fighter practices that he came down to and walked away knowing how to do a dark side. That's about right.
Well, no, that's the thing. So I was like, that was a really good dark side. I saw from over there. He's like, thanks. I've been practicing that for a month straight at my park.
God.
That's the only shot I've been throwing. And I'm like, that's pretty rough. Like, no, ask my park. And sure enough, one of his park members walked by. He's like, hey, man, tell me about what I've been doing. He's like, the dark side. It was great.
I don't fear the man who has practiced 10,000 shots. I fear the man who has practiced one shot 10,000 times.
And that was and he did it great. So it's like stuff like that. Little bitty things, I think that is what's been great about this year, is getting to see that again of just as dumb as that all sounds, it's been fantastic to actually see come to life.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So.
We've been actually doing a lot of fighter practices, and we were going over the dark side with Vidalia just the other day.
She probably didn't get it.
No, she did. She did.
She got it thrown on her a few times.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair
Did
enough.
I say it weird?
Nope.
No,
Just confirming what was happening.
She got the dark side. I don't understand where I'm losing you.
Over and over and over again. No, again, I could probably go on. People are amazing. Let's keep the game running.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. Thanks for being our 69th episode. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening. If you liked what you heard, be sure to subscribe to our podcast on YouTube or Spotify to get notified about new episodes. And make sure to follow us on Facebook for announcements and more.
Merry Christmas!